Welcome back to JW World News, and today we have a real interesting news update for you. This is dealing with a court that grants a man permission to sue his church to get his donations back. Now, this is an LDS one, but what this tells us as Jehovah's Witnesses, that within the religions, even Catholics, if we can't, the courts are saying if the religion is using your funds in a way other than you intended them to be used, you may be able to get them back. You can sue for it. So let us look in on this newscast and see what happened.
Just into the Fox 13 newsroom, a member of the powerful Huntsman family in Utah has won a major victory in a lawsuit against the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. James Huntsman sued the church, accusing it of fraud. He claimed his tithing dollars were misappropriated to pay for the City Creek Center Mall in downtown Salt Lake and to bail out Beneficial Life. A lower court judge threw out the case, but tonight, the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in California reinstated part of the lawsuit. They ruled that Huntsman could proceed with his lawsuit over City Creek Center, but not Beneficial Life. Huntsman is the brother of former Utah Governor John Huntsman Jr. and Paul Huntsman, chair of the board of directors of the Salt Lake Tribune.
A spokesperson for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints sent a statement to Fox 13 News, doubling down on their stance of there being no fraudulent activity, saying, quote, the church did exactly what President Gordon B. Hinckley said when it invested earnings on the reserve funds in the City Creek project. The church looks forward to defending these facts in the next phase of the legal process.
So what if we went after the church for using the funds for paying lawyers for covering up CSA cases? What if that's where all the funds are going that we're sending to jw.org? And they are asking for funds. You know, we've seen in this elders letter for August, they're asking for $10.75 per publisher. And a publisher could be a 12-year-old child. Everyone in the household in a Jehovah's Witness family is a publisher, even the kids. So that could be a lot of money if you have a big family and you can't afford it. Now, we're going to take a look at not only are the Mormons being attacked, and now with this successful case where the guy, well, he was a governor, he had a lot of money, and he donated $2 million. And so here it went to a shopping mall and some life insurance. So the courts are saying, yeah, you can now sue the church. So this is a first where the guy gets permission to sue the church to get his donations back. So there will be upcoming articles on that. So if you haven't subscribed yet, stay tuned. And we do like to bring the news out. So now I'm going to look at another article here. It's Tax Abuse, Tax Advantage Web of Jehovah's Witnesses. And I'll put a link to this, but it's talking about the ANBI scheme, and we'll talk a little bit about that. It says that Jehovah's Witnesses have been in the spotlight for years because of allegations of child abuse and the exclusion of former members. That's disfellowshipping. And nevertheless, they and the donors enjoy a major tax benefit through the ANBI scheme. And does Jehovah's Witnesses meet all the conditions? And what does a closed religious community do with the money collected? Does the ANBI scheme have sufficient options to prevent abuse? This broadcast was made possible with the support of journalism funds. So I'll leave a link here. It's not in our language, in English. So I'll leave a link there so you can go in and look at that. But what the ANBI is, it's an institution. Here it is. It's a nonprofit tax designation in the Netherlands issued by the tax office. So in other words, if you're a charity, you have to comply to NBI. You have to register and say that you comply. And so now NBI is looking into organizations that are charities that cover up child sex abuse and that have disfellowshipping and shunning policies, especially for children. They're saying you don't qualify. You don't qualify to be an ANBI. So this is what this is all about. And it's interesting that this is all coming out in the Netherlands. So here's another article, Belgium and Dutch Jehovah's Witnesses financial rulership revealed. So now they're in the spotlight again, Jehovah's Witnesses. And it says the Jehovah's Witnesses are a large global church community that most people know from their door-to-door visits. And in recent years, in the spotlight because of allegations of child abuse and exclusion of former members. So those are the two big ones for JWs. It's bad light. If you think Jehovah is God, God does not like his name being muddied like this, and they carry it. They use it in their title. So now, but how do they manage their financial activities received from gifts, donations to keep themselves afloat? And what do they do with the money? Good questions. A cross-border team of journalists went looking for answers from Belgium and Netherlands to shed some light into the closed financial box of Jehovah's Witnesses and spoke with former members. Tax advantages, an ingenious business model, and total control from above lead the team to 8 men in New York who claim to have the voice of God. Could you imagine? This sounds like a science fiction story. But here we have real time, you and I get to witness and follow along as these journalists here in the Netherlands explore these questions about Jehovah's Witnesses. So they're in the limelight. What does Canada say? Well, Charity Intelligence Canada, they gave them a scoreboard of failure. If you were looking at this as a kindergarten, you'd know you failed on your report card. You got an X, you got an F, you got low. Need for funding, no need for funding, a big red, lots of money in the bank. 99 cents goes to New York, 1% stays here in Canada to help the organization. It's all voluntary. And so Canada, the Charity Canada, they're saying Watchtower is 0-star charity with low demonstrated impact, meaning they do not help people. They don't help the poor. They don't help the needy. They send their own members to the food bank. That's not charity. It says the charity does not have a website. It reports very little about the $30 million in programs and their results. It doesn't report on it because it sends it all to New York. So it says Watchtower has a large funding reserve and is not financially transparent. It says before you give, read Charity Intelligence reports. They're telling you X and Fs don't donate to Jehovah's Witnesses. We go to Britain, charity inquiries, Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Britain. They're being investigated there. We ran this article just a little while ago. This is brand new news. So I wanted to know how Jehovah's Witnesses, where their money goes, where is the money, and how kingdom activities are financed. It took me a while to get here, but we go all the way to the bottom. And here's what they say. We never take up collections, explained Brother Russell. And they say it's all voluntary. Let everyone with a willing heart bring a contribution in. So it's willing. It's not. It's all voluntary. And it will never beg or petition men for support. Now, when we get to this section, I look at this here, this elder, and we ran this article here, this video a few days ago, where they're asking everyone in the U.S. for $10.75, every publisher. So if you have a big family, that's a lot of money. Publisher, these could be 12-year-old kids that are publishers, right? Everyone's a publisher in the family, so they have to pay lots of money. So that's what's happening. They say they will never beg or petition men, but they are petitioning for money. And then they say, let each one do just as he has resolved. But they're always talking about money, and we ran articles on that. And then they go on to talk about how is the money received. Well, we know how it's received. They have so many ways you can send the money. You can send them to your estate. You can do it through an ATM. You can even use your Visa. They'll even want you to pay interest on Visa just to donate. Sad. So how is it used? They say it's used for the worldwide work. It's a very general way of saying that they can do what they want with it. There's no transparency. They don't Charity Canada and any of the charities that are looking into the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're finding that the organization will not give anything out because they have so much to hide. They're very wealthy, but they're not helping people. Kingdom Hall constructions, well, that's all voluntary. Everyone donates their time and their labor and even equipment for these kingdom halls, and they're selling off kingdom halls because they're getting only 30 people in them here and there. So they sell a bunch off, 3 off, and then they use voluntary labor to build another one. And then in Canada, there's even a charity organization called Kingdom Hall Charity, where they go and get charity money from Canada to build these kingdom halls from us taxpayers. So, some of these charities are coming from the lotteries and things like that. But charity money is here in Canada, available for all the organizations. And the Jehovah's Witnesses go in and get them after their kingdom hall. So that's why they like new kingdom hall projects. They sell off old ones and they get new charities on building new ones. And that's a way of making money. So, and using the publishers as their workforce for free. So the local congregation expenses, if that's all we had to pay for in a Jehovah's Witness organization, it'd be easy. If you just went to a community hall once a week and you threw in $5 because it doesn't cost much. And they had coffee there and stuff. They don't have that at the Kingdom Hall. Nothing like that. No coffee, no nothing. Not even a bottle of water. They might have a fountain, hooked up to the local water. But the local congregation expenses are easy to pay for. It's all of the other stuff. When we look at, now they're asking for extra money, $10 a publisher. Now they want $50 for my family, right, to attend the Kingdom Hall. Now I have to put in another $50 for all these Watchtower and Awake magazines my kids want to pick up and go out and try to place. And they end up in the garbage anyways, in the streets. We place them with people in the streets or whatever, and you see them on the streets and in the gutters. It's a complete waste of trees. But the Watchtower pushes everyone to do that. And it costs money for me as the person raising the money in the family to have a car available, and then people pile into it. And the gas that we used to use covering the territories is just ridiculous. Sometimes I'd spend $500 a month on gas, traveling around at empty doors, trying to distribute Watchtower and the Awake magazines, and it's a complete farce. So when we consider all that, they're saying in paragraph 20, when they consider all that's involved in carrying out kingdom preaching work, they try to make it look like they're honoring Jehovah, but they're not. It's not about that. It's about the Watchtower, honoring the Watchtower. You see, Jehovah equals Watchtower in this organization. God could not care less of a Watchtower and the Awake being distributed. It's not God's message. It's a fictional story put on by the Watchtower. That's what this is. It's nothing to do with the Bible educational work, and it's not about helping people. So I wondered about this helping people. Do they help people? They don't. They don't talk about helping people here, worldwide work. They do talk about disaster work. I had some of my subscribers are writing in, and they're saying, you know what, we were in a disaster. We tried to get a hold of elders. There was none to be seen, none to be heard. We had to go down to the relief center, and we got help from the community, not the Jehovah's Witnesses. They were nowhere to be seen. So JW.org, shame on you for not helping your people worldwide. I was never in a disaster, but I guess the ones that were in disasters here are saying JW.org does not help. So there it is. The people speak for themselves. They're asking and demanding money. The elders have to figure out how to send money to the organization. Now, if you wanted to go to the organization where legal problems, you can't. They have legal offices, no lawyer-client relationship. No lawyer-client relationship or other relationship is created by communicating with our law department. They'll shred everything. So if you're going to sue the Watchtower for $2 million or whatever, like the Mormon did, because the courts are allowing it now, and let's say you gave a lot of money to the Watchtower and you want to know where your donations are, you're on this side of the fence, you want to know where your money went, you know it's going to CSA cover-ups. Unless they become transparent, they're going to have to pay you your money back. So my advice is, if you're in a position to go get your money, go get your money. Ask them, where is my money? Because they are not showing you that it's being used for legal bills. And they're hiring Catholic lawyers. They're hiring at $350 an hour or more. They're hiring Matt Haverstick, the Catholic diocese lawyer. because their own lawyer, Brumley, got charged $150,000 for lying in court. Who pays for that? Do my donations pay for that if I'm a JW? I can guarantee you they call that the worldwide work. All of these legal fees are called the worldwide work. But it's not in there. It's not on their page. So I think it can be challenged. That's what I think. But we're living in a time, folks, that the religions are going to get challenged all over the earth. And it's happening right now. I think it's part of Babylon the Great falling. It's silent. It's not like there's a war out there. There's no explosions. The birds are singing. But Babylon the Great is fallen. And the governments and the people like you and I are sick and tired of the abuse from these religions. So that's all I have to say today, folks. And until next time, keep living your life with love. Bye for now.